Hi guys, okay, so before we start the video I just wanted to explain how I achieved what logic I used to determine the measurements and stitches that I started to work with. And this is a strip I made and it measured half the length of my underbust. From there I decided like how many stitches I'd work and then to make increases that would get me up to the length of my underbust. So as you can see here, this is the shape that I wanted to work with, and so the stitches you start with will determine also like how many rows you have to work to get to the length of your underbust. So please keep that in mind before starting to work your crochet top. So we'll first start off by making a slip knot. Next, work chains. The number of chains you make should be a multiple of 6, and then you're going to add +1 at the end. I worked 30 chains +1, so it gave me a total of 31, and then next you want to work 1 double crochet into the 4th chain. Go ahead and work 1 double crochet into each stitch until you get to the end. Once you get to the end of the row, you want to chain 2 and turn your work. We're going to start working 3 front post double crochets. To work a front post, go under the double crochet you made in the previous row and then work 1 double crochet on top of it. So go under that double crochet, we call them posts. When referring to this stitch, then work a double crochet on top of it. So work a total of 3 front post double crochets. So next we're going to work 3 back post double crochets, and then you want to yarn over, but this time you want to take the post towards the back, so the crochet hook actually comes over like from the view of the front. So from the front you see the hook coming over the post, and from the back it's like you're taking it towards the back. Then work 1 double crochet on top of it. So yarn over, go over the post, take it towards the back, and then work 1 double crochet on top of it. We should work a total of 3 back post double crochets. So for the remainder of the row you want to repeat that, alternating between 3 front post double crochets and 3 back post double crochets. Sorry, I totally forgot to show this part, but you should end the row with 1 double crochet. To begin the next row, you want to chain 2. Next, turn your work, and it's important to note that after you turn your work, where you had worked the front post, it appears to be as back post. Where you had worked back post, it appears to be as front post. So I will be referring to the posts as they appear after you've done your work. So to get started, we're first going to work our increases, and we'll do that by working 3 double crochets in the space between the last double crochet and the front post, or rather the back posts. Once you're done working your 3 double crochets, you're going to work front post double crochets on top of the back post double crochets. Next, you want to work back post double crochet on top of the front post double crochet. You can go ahead and repeat that until we get to the end of the row, where we're also going to end with an increase. Okay, so between the posts and the last double crochet, we want to work 3 double crochets. This will represent our increase. So just as you started with chain 2, you want to finish your work with a double crochet. So you should have a total of 4 double crochets at the end. Chain 2 to begin the next row. Turn your work. Again, the post appears the opposites. So the next thing you want to do, you want to work, since after the increase, the next one is a back post, so you will start with a front post double crochet on the stitches that were increases. I hope that's clear, since you have to alternate between front post and back post double crochets. So on top of the back post, you're going to repeat another row of back post. And then where you had worked front post, you're going to repeat front posts on top of that. And this is going to be the repeat for this row until we get to the end. So once you get to the end where you made the increases, you're going to work front post double crochets on top of the increases. Our previous stitch was back post, so now we're working front post. If by any chance yours was front post, you'd work back post. And then to finish the row, you're going to work 1 double crochet. For next row, you want to chain 2, turn your work, then we're going to work increase. So this is where the repeat for the rows begins. So we're going to work an increase in between that last of rather first double crochet and the 3 back post double crochets. Once you make your increase, now we're going to alternate the pattern. Where you worked a back post, you're going to work a front post. Where you worked a front post, you're going to work a back post. So you want to repeat that until you get to the end of the row. And remember, just as we made an increase at the beginning of the row, you want to make an increase at the end of the row and finish up with a double crochet. Begin the next row with a chain 2, and then you're going to work where there is an increase. If the next 3 set of stitches is a back post, you're going to start with a front post. Your design should be like mine, but just in case it's different, yeah, just know you're working. You're supposed to follow the pattern of alternating back post and front post, always. So you want to go ahead and continue that repeat of row 3 and 4 until you get to the desired width of your top. So it should be wide enough to cover the front part. We're going to add the back panel later. So the front panel, you work it until it's wide enough. So this was enough for me. It got to 30 centimeters. And then you're going to continue working rows, but this time without making any increases at the start. So you just want to repeat what you've been doing, but no increases. To work the back panel of the top, you want to start off with making a slip knot, and then you want to work chains. You're going to make 2 back panels, and you're going to leave, it should add up to the length of your back, and you should leave a space in between so that you can work the straps. So make enough chains for that. So just like how we started with the front panel, you're going to work 1/2 double crochet into each stitch, and it's going to be a repeat of the front panel. The only difference is you're not going to be working any increases, so it's going to be straight all the way until you get to the desired length. Next, we want to work on the straps for the top. To do this, you want to first attach your yarn to the top, of course after deciding where exactly you'd like your straps to be, and then chain 2. So I'm going to, for the first row, I'm going to follow along with the pattern that was there. So I'm going to work front post on top of the front post, then you're going to work back post on top of the back post, and then I worked front post for the next part. So I had a total of 9 stitches excluding the chain 2 and double crochet at the beginning and the end. If you'd like to make it wider, you can continue working into the next stitches. If you wanted to make it thinner, you can work on less stitches than the ones I've used. So chain 2 turn to begin the next row, and I'm going to be working an opposite pattern. So I'm going to work front post on top of the back post, back post where I worked front post, Okay, for the next row, I'm going to work back post on top of the back post. So we're not changing the pattern, we're repeating the pattern. And then work front post on top of the front post. And you're going to be repeating those 2 rows until the strap is long enough to get to the back. I added 1 row of single crochet for the border at the bottom, but this is how the top looks when it's finished. And then at the back I also added some straps.